What's up everyone, it's Matt Mrozik, aka MVM397, with my first video in my new work area, and my first video with just getting back from WonderFest 2016. So this year was my second WonderFest, and I gotta say it was more fun than last year. I got to catch up with a lot of new people I met last year. I got to meet some new people. I got to rub shoulders with some of the bigwigs in the biz as far as figure painters and sculptors. I took a really cool class. Of course, I got lots of goodies, and that's what this first video is about. So, also, I did really well in the awards. I got 4 golds. One was for the 172nd Jack Dogga. One was for my Sazabi bust. One was for the Sinanju, the Evening Sun. And my most favorite and most award that I'm proud of is that Stella, aka Hitchhiker Hottie, got a gold, and I'm super stoked about that. That being my first figure kit, I have to say, seeing on the table, she looked really good, and the judges seemed to like her, and I got a gold. So that is really made my day when I heard I got a gold on her. So anyway, this year, Filmy's girls kit that they released is Freya, and when I first saw the artwork of this, I'm like, I gotta get her. So this was like my kit to get this year, and one of the main reasons I wanted to go to WonderFest. Filmy's Girl held a naming contest earlier. It was back like in November, and the winner, whoever won, got a kit. So actually, they had 2 winners. One gentleman named Whitney came up with the name Freya, and then someone else, I don't remember his name, came up with Horns of a Dilemma. So Filmy's Girl put those 2 together and came up with Freya, Horns of a Dilemma. So both of those gentlemen get a free copy of Freya. Now, Freya at WonderFest was going for $275, which this kit is worth every single penny of that. It is beautiful. I was there when they were unpacking the Painted Master, painted by the very talented Jim Capone, who is like top-notch figure painter. He's killer. I mean, and a super nice guy. I talked to him for like an hour just about painting and some of his techniques, and just super nice guy. So I'm going to put a link down. I'm not sure if Filmy's Girls has any pictures on their Facebook page, but I'll try to find one and put a link to it. The painted kit is absolutely gorgeous. It looks just like, actually looks better than the artwork. So he also had casting number 1 for an extra cost, which I splurged and I got casting number 1. So I'm not going to tell you how much I paid for it, but it wasn't more than $275. So anyway, this is Freya, and I haven't opened her yet. So let's crack her open and take a look. So as usual with all Filmy's Girls kits, you get a really nice box. Packaging is top notch. You get a nice colored print of the artwork. And if you don't know Simon Eckert on Facebook, he's a young guy out of, I believe, the UK. He is a very talented artist. Sorry, my phone's ringing. I'm going to turn it off. Sorry about that, guys. Anyway, he's a very talented artist. Look him up on Facebook. Super nice guy, but he does all of Filmy's Girls concept art, and it's got a really cool pin-up style to it. So this is a 1/5 scale. She's huge. On the base, she stands at about 18, to the top of the horns, about 18 inches tall. So let's take a look. And like I said, I haven't even opened this yet, so this is my first time looking at her too. As with all Filmy's Girls kits, you get a certificate of authenticity. Here's mine. It's got my name on it, signed by Mark Cavagan, and casting number 1. And then, oh, there's some pictures in here of the painted kit. So, and actually these pictures don't do it justice. In person, it's just crazy awesome. So here's the front. And to me, what makes this kit really successful are the 3 little elves. These guys are just really cool. And to see them in person, they all have their very own personality that comes through in the sculpt, and the painting just brings it home. And then here's a shot of the back. Now, a few things in these pictures that aren't included with the kit. Jim Capone did a few things. He added the little handle to the back of the mirror, and he added a piece of plow plate to the back to create the wood texture. And he added some gems somewhere. I don't remember where he added. He added a few gems here and there. And I don't know exactly. I'm not going to point them out because I can't tell from the pictures. So there are the pictures. And I get a business card. So I've got a lot of these because I've got a ton of Filmy's Girls kits. And here we get our Filmy's Girls sticker. I have one of mine displayed downstairs where I used to work. I will put this up in my new work area. And then we get a cool futuristic retro sticker. So a lot of little extra goodies in there. I'm gonna get a trash can to the side here because, like I said, his packing is really good. And there's always lots of peanuts in here. So once I take the peanuts out, I never put them back in because theoretically this kit isn't going to go anywhere until it's been painted. So one thing about Filmy's Girls is if you like one of his kits, I recommend getting it as soon as it's available. I don't know how many runs he does of each kit. 2, maybe 3. I'm not sure exactly. I know when I tried to get, I wanted to get a copy of his Daphne, which is one of his first releases. That's no longer being released, which is kind of a bummer. She's a space girl, and she looked really good next to Stella. So anyway, so that's pretty good for now. I can at least get to the parts. All right, so let's pull out the bottom part of the torso. And here it is. Nice as usual. A little bit of texture to the casting, no problem. Nothing that a little sandpaper can't take care of. What's really impressive with the Filmy's molds is that the seam lines are virtually non-existent. You know, besides what you have to typically do with resin is sand it, prime it, you know, get out any imperfections. The molding is just top notch. I don't know who does his molding, but he's killer. He knows what he's doing. Like I said, like I can see a seam line, but I can't feel it with my fingernail. So that doesn't mean it's not there. On the Stella kit, I had the same thing, and as soon as I primed it, I started to sand it. Popped out just a little bit, but it was like 2 swipes with some 400 grit sandpaper, and it was gone. So I got some water to the side here because I'm going to do a lot of talking. So there's the bottom of the legs. I'll put that to the side for now. I'm not sure if I'll be able to kind of pin this up for you or not because I don't know. Here's one of the elves, and this is, I believe, the bottom elf on the right side. So he's got another elf that he's holding up. Oh, here he is. Yeah. So, so this guy's on the bottom. Hopefully this is in frame. And this guy will key in to his hands. Let's see. See if I can get in there. Please hold while I play with this. Let's see. It's got to go in there somehow. There's probably a trick to it. But the idea is that he's on this guy's on the bottom holding this guy up. So let's see. We'll get there eventually. Be patient with me. Oh, come on. You know you want to fit in there. So this is tricky. So this is good to know. So after you got to know how this goes, it really goes together before you start painting because, and you don't want to do doing this with a painted piece. Huh. It goes in there somehow. Let me look at the picture and see if I can see how the feet fit in there. Maybe that'll help me. Okay, so it's his knee that goes in there, not his foot. That's what it is. So his knee goes in there. Aha. There we go. So there you go. That's cool. And it keys in perfectly. I mean, that's done. So, you know, you can glue these guys together at the end, which probably makes the most sense so they don't get damaged, or you can keep them separate. But and then the mirror goes up here. And obviously, he's got some fingers and another arm. So that's really cool. Here's the upper torso. And again, looking really, really nice. Got a little bit of resin sludge right there, no biggie. But again, the seam lines, I see it, but I can't feel it. So, you know, a couple rounds of primer and a little bit of sanding, and this should be ready to go. There'll be a little cleanup here and there between, like on these details where the seam goes through. There's no avoiding that. So, again, you know, a couple of swipes with the 400 grit sandpaper, and it's done. The hardest part will be like around this arm detail right here, where it's got a lot of little ridges in it, but no big deal. So, and then on the top of the helmet here, there's a nice detail here that. But the thing about the mold is that the molds are perfectly lined up. There's no slippage, you know, vertically or laterally. So, you know, if you get a step in a mold where it does this and you have an actual lip, that's really hard to fix. And then if you have a lateral move like this, that can be even harder because, especially on straight lines like this, because then the lines don't line up. So that creates a lot of extra sanding and sculpting, but this is done really, really well. So there's none of that going on there. This is my favorite of the elves. I love this guy's beard. And he is super cool. The chainmail is extremely detailed. The beard looks awesome. You know, again, the mold line is there, but it's barely, you know, noticeable. So cool. Just a really, really cool sculpt. And so, Filmy's girl is gonna. Their next kit's gonna be called Nefertiti, and she's a mummy. And the concept art looks really good like that. So if you haven't seen that, go to Filmy's girl Facebook page, and I'll put a link and go look at that. It's gonna be killer. I think he says it's gonna be available in the fall, which means it should be available for WonderFest next year also. Some here are the detailed parts, like the horns that go in her head. So I can put those in because those have some nice keys in them. This is gonna be a fairly long video, guys, because I like to. When I get a good kit, I like to point out the quality and how it goes together. Look at that, just slides right in. Bam. Just like that. So she's tall. I mean, and at the waist here, there is, I mean, I'm not going to point it out, there's like the tiniest bit of a gap. So again, that's credit to the molder, to the caster. He knows what he's doing. Looking good. I might be able to get her to stand up on the base. So I can keep her in frame. I'm not going to pull every single piece out. Like here's the other arm to the elf that's holding the mirror. So the mirror keys right into the hand. And it does come with a piece of glass that goes in the mirror frame, which is really nice. Here is some of the like cloth and stuff. These horns right here go to like the little clothes rack. And those are beautifully done. Really nice. And the seam line on that, the only place I see it is really around this little round detail. I don't even see it on the horn, which is nice because that would be hard to clean up in there. And her pigtails. Again, the caster put the mold line right here where it'd be the least noticeable. Looking good. Not sure that was in frame. But he put the seam line right here on this very thin edge so it's not even barely noticeable. Alright, let's see what else we got in here. Lots of good stuff. This is the crow. Comes with the crow that goes up on the mirror. Again, packaging is beautiful. Nice bubble wrap. He's really cool, nicely detailed. He'll be fun to paint. Looking good. Very cool. Oh, here are the helmets for the elves. And do they go on those? Where do the helmets go? Helmets kind of go. Oh, okay. So one goes on. He's holding one. There's 3 helmets. So that's kind of cool because I don't see 3 helmets on the picture. So I guess you can change out the helmets that the guy is holding, or you can put these other ones on the base, but they're not in the picture, which is kind of cool. So you get 3 helmets. Nice. I didn't know that. And they're all beautifully detailed. I like the skull. He's cool. Look at that guy. Bam. Alright, here's the legs. The other part of the legs. Looking good. I'll be able to get her to stand up. She's designed very well. This is her. Oh, this is her skirt. Yeah, I'll go ahead and unpack it. Again, he had bubble wrapped around in the middle and then on the outside, so it gave some nice support in the middle. Very nice. And then that comes in, and again, it keys in perfectly right there. I mean, perfect. No issues. Bam. Okay. I'm not going to take the mirror out because it's just a piece of glass. Right there. That's the mirror in there. I'm going to leave that in there. Sword and the stand for the little helmet stand right there. I'm going to leave those in the bag. And as always, Mark puts the really small pieces in a little plastic ramekin with some peanuts and a lid, so that's not going to get damaged. And then the base, which is absolutely massive. here it is. Mark signed it for me, casting number 1. It's got a sticker. And with all their bases, they put the sucker on a belt sander and they sand it smooth for you. So it is, that part's done. It's really nice. It's a nice touch that they do that, because I myself don't own a belt sander, and that would be hard for me to get flat. Alright, so I'm going to move some of the stuff out of the way, and I'll just get her like her main body standing up, because it'll work the way this is designed. Sorry. Even though I have a new workspace, my actual work table is a little bit smaller, but I have, it really doesn't make sense. My workspace is smaller, but I have more room to spread out. So I have some other stuff off camera here that I normally would have on my bench. It's just not on the bench. So I believe this is the front right here. And once I get her in, I'll take the camera off the tripod. And this foot pegs into there. That's what holds most of her weight. And so when I was watching Jim Capone put this together, he didn't pin this. He just let this loose. And it's engineered so well that she stands out just like that. Okay, let me bring the camera down. So it's going to be shaky just for a second. Some nice background music for you. Is that rattle your brain? Alright. Alright, so she's tall. So there's the base. There she is. I can put the horns on. The way these are designed, they only fit one way. You can't screw left up from right. So there's that. There are the horns. Looking good. Super nice. This little guy stands over here. And I'll put a pin in his toe. He kind of stands there. There you go. And these guys come over here. Let's see. I think, yeah, right about there. I mean, come on. That's just cool, guys. That is so fun. I'm going to zoom in a little. Actually, I'll take this off the tripod, because when I zoom, it falls apart. This camera isn't that great for zooming. So here's the one little elf to her right, to her left, and these guys will hold the mirror up. And have the horns. There she is. So that's gonna do it for Freya. So he sold out. Let's see, early. They have like an early bird ticket. Goes in at 8, and he sold out of these by 8:45. I was lucky that I helped a few friends of mine unload some of their stuff, and I had a dealer pass, so I was able to buy mine the day before, so I didn't have to worry about. I didn't have to get up at 5 a.m. to get in line, but this is Freya. Check out Filmy's Girls on Facebook or on the web. Probably Facebook's the best way to get a hold of him. He's really good about getting back to you, within a day or so. This isn't his main business. He's a filmmaker and producer, so if he doesn't get back to you, I'll give him some time. Mark's really good about it. But anyway, another fantastic kit by Filmy's Girls. I am super glad I got her, and I don't know, I may tackle her for next year. I don't know. I'm feeling pretty good about doing skin tones, even though I've only done like one figure. I have the concept in my head of how to do the skin tones. It's the eyes that drive me nuts, and if I have to, I'll use decals again. So I just need to practice eyes and try it out. But so that's my first haul. I'll do another one in a second, but this is Matt Morozic, aka MVM397, signing off. See you in a few.